Wellness is definitely in for 2025, and in this video I'm going to be sharing some of my top wellness tips. Having been really passionate about wellness for several years now, I've tried a bunch of things, done all the things, and so I want to share some of the things that have made the biggest difference in my life, and I hope that it will help you in 2025 to have your best wellness-focused year yet. Now, the first piece of advice that I'm going to give might be a little different than you've seen in a lot of videos. Basically, when it comes down to it, if you were to follow all of the typical wellness advice, all of the morning routines, all of the habits, all of the evening routines, you could literally spend your entire day doing everything from sauna to breath work to cold showers to cold plunge to morning tea, greens, journaling, meditating. Like, there's just so many things that are involved in wellness. And while I do think that a lot of these things are valid and they can add a lot of value to your life, there's one really big piece missing in wellness, and it's the most important thing that you can do, and that is to do things that you love to do. While these things are important for you to do to, improve some of your health, nothing else matters if you're not having fun, if you're not doing things that you enjoy, and you're not filling your life with things that you're passionate about or things that bring you happiness. By following a lot of the typical wellness or health advice, your entire life can turn into a to-do list. You will have, from the beginning of your day to end of your day, your entire year can turn into a to-do list of all the things that you need to do. And while you might feel good because you're doing these things in an effort to take care of yourself, and I think that that is important, you might be missing something huge on your to-do list, and that is doing something that you really enjoy to do instead of listening to what everybody else wants you to do. So your number one priority for 2025, if you don't know already, is to find a few things that you really like to do. Nothing will recharge you more than doing something that you're passionate about. I don't care if you're passionate about watching Netflix and eating popcorn. I don't care, but whatever you are passionate about doing, make an effort to do those things and make them the first priority and make yourself enjoy those things. Sometimes we have things that we're really passionate about, but then we also feel shame about. For example, maybe you really do love watching your favorite show on Netflix. So what does that turn into? You'll watch the show and you'll think, I'm being unproductive. This must not be good for my wellness because people say I shouldn't watch TV. And you'll kind of feel like a little bit guilty or shameful about doing something that you really enjoy. And then next thing you know, some experience of watching your favorite show that could have been really enriching and fun for you has now been soured around the shame that you're not supposed to do that thing. I know that we talk about the extremes, and I feel like people are so scared of the extremes that it almost causes the extreme, right? You're so afraid that you're going to watch Netflix for 8 hours, and you're already feeling that shame before you even do it, and you're experiencing it before you even do it, and so you're already kind of normalizing it. So then when you do it, you don't surprise yourself. You knew you were going to do it, and then you feel really, really guilty about it. But what if instead of watching 8 hours, you just did 1 episode or 2 episodes very intentionally, and also intentionally allowed yourself to do it? When you're allowed to do something, it takes the shame out of it, and you're able to actually enjoy that activity. Now, while you might really enjoy that activity, and that's totally valid, it also might just be kind of a default choice for you. And maybe you really do like watching Netflix, but you don't want to do it every single night. So we want to make sure that when we're finding things that we enjoy to do, we're not just defaulting into a habit, but we're being very intentional with what we're doing. So maybe you do like to watch TV. You can do that a couple nights a week, but maybe try to introduce some new things or some new cozy habits while you watch TV or something like that. Sorry, I meant to say hobbies, not habits. So maybe while you're watching TV, you pick up drawing, or you play a little game on your phone that you really like, or you crochet, or there's so many things that you can do and kind of combine as long as it's intentional. But outside of that, in 2025, really start to experiment with things that you didn't even expect that you would even like. So many gyms or places in your town specifically probably provide 1 or 2 free classes of maybe kickboxing or Zumba or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or whatever it is that you're kind of interested in. Go and try out that class and just be open to it. It doesn't have to have a ton of pressure on it to be your passion or anything like that. You're just experimenting and really getting to know what you love to do. Like I said at the beginning, it might take some time for you to really understand what you like to do and understand what you enjoy doing. Don't make the mistake of when you find something that you enjoy doing to then make it this habit that you have to do. You want to come from a place of wanting to do it, not forcing yourself to do it. So I've done this before so many times where I really like playing the piano, but I don't really get around to it very much just because a lot of other things take priority. But guess what happens when I play piano? I might play piano for 15 to 20 minutes, and then afterwards I think, man, I love piano so much. I need to do that every single day. What have I done there? I've taken something that I enjoy doing and then turned it into a to-do list. And that really takes out the fun of everything. You can literally suck the fun out of everything when you start to put these rules around it or these goals around absolutely everything. And I understand that you might feel driven to do these things or you don't want to forget to do these things. And while I think that that's important, I also think it's important to do things that you enjoy in the moment. A way that you might be able to do this is to create a menu for yourself. I have done this where I kind of list out a bunch of things that I enjoy after I learn that I like doing them. And then before I sit down and do something like maybe watch TV, I can look at my menu and think, okay, watching TV sounds great, but let me look at some other things that I really enjoy doing and see if I just did one of those things for 10 minutes. And then if I'm not really having a good time, I could either pick something else from the menu or I could kind of default to watching TV, whatever I really want to do. But this way you are able to open yourself to the possibility of doing something different and something that you enjoy without creating this force on it. And that way you'll be creating different moments in your life to have fun. And it doesn't even need to be something like a hobby that you can have fun with. It can be making your coffee in the morning in a new fun way. It can be trying out, sorry, I'm really stuck on drinks, trying out a new drink or a new snack or a new path on your daily walk or something like that. Just find ways to have fun that will actually recharge you and that is not just going to be another item on your to-do list. So along those lines, my second wellness tip for 2025 is to, instead of making this to-do list, make a not to-do list. I've talked about this in several of my videos already, but I'm very passionate about it. And that's deciding what things you're not going to do. You need to let go of things in order to let in things that you really enjoy in your life that are going to make you happy and make you feel well. So if there's different outstanding things that you feel like are always in the back of your mind that you're feeling guilty about, like my kids aren't eating enough vegetables, I'm not doing enough fun stuff with my kids, I'm not getting the certifications that I need to at work, or I'm not eating enough protein or something like that, well, all of those things can be great. You can't always do everything. And so sometimes you need to decide what you're not going to do, what you're not going to worry about. Sometimes that means you're going to outsource something. And by deciding what you're not going to do, you're going to free up space in your mind and free up space in your calendar and schedule to leave you some breathing room. That doesn't even need to be that you fill up that time with something else. It just means that you can maybe even do nothing and have more time to choose from the menu that we talked about before. The not to-do list is sometimes about letting go of things in your mind and sometimes letting go of different actions that you're doing. Like maybe you want to let go of scrolling for a long period of time, or you want to let go of cleaning the kitchen, literally every single inch of the kitchen every single day or something like that. But basically what you're wanting to do is just free up that space to let some more good in. The next thing that I would super recommend for 2025 is to start learning to meditate. And don't click off just yet, okay? If you tried meditating before and it's just hasn't worked for you, I really feel passionate that you might be going about meditation in the wrong way. I think that people go into meditation trying to get something out of meditation. They're trying to feel calm. They're trying to feel less anxious. They're trying to just do so much that even the act of meditation starts to feel stressful. So you can sit down and do the official act of meditation. And I'd love to do a video on meditation where I can expand on this a little bit more. But while you're meditating, your main goal is just to not let yourself get sucked into your thoughts. That's the only thing that you're trying to do. And you're not trying to do this so that you'll be more calm or you'll be less anxious, though that might be an outcome. Sorry, I forgot the word of that. It might be an outcome of meditating. Really, the only goal that you're doing with meditating is trying to take yourself out of your head a little bit, because it can get really messy in there. It can get really crazy in there. And so you really want to be able to pull back away from it and look at your thoughts without getting too attached to it. Now, if sitting down and meditating is very, very intimidating to you, or you've tried it a bunch and it just is not working, you can also go for a walk and meditate, or involve meditation type practices into your day. And that might look like, instead of cleaning the kitchen while you're listening to music or a podcast, it might just be doing or consuming nothing. Sometimes just doing things in silence without multitasking is a great step in the right direction for meditating. And then as you're doing those things, just focus on what you're doing, focus on what is right in front of you. It makes it very easy to be present and to not get too involved in your thoughts when you're just focused on what you're doing. And then you can kind of start to practice separating your thoughts and being in the moment. And learning to be in the moment is another huge benefit of meditation, because you're not too focused on the past, not too nervous about the future, and you're able to just be here now, which is the only thing that is real, is what's happening in front of you. Involving a couple different types of meditation practices into your 2025 is going to help you learn to be in the present moment, learn to not believe every single thought that comes into your head, and really start to control your thoughts in a different way, because you realize that your thoughts kind of just come and go. And if you just, I really like the image of watching a highway. It's like you're watching the cars pass by, that's your thoughts, and you're just watching them go. You don't need to get in every car. You can just watch it go. You don't have to believe everything that your mind says. You don't have to start making plans about everything your mind is scared about, or creating scenarios that make you afraid when a certain thought pops into your head. You're just going to let those thoughts go. And meditating really changed my life. I absolutely love it, and I definitely think it's something that you should try in 2025. My next two wellness habits are super simple, very well known, but I have to mention it, and it's moving and sleep. Moving can be so many different things. It can literally be just getting up from your desk once an hour for 5 minutes and walking around. It can be dancing. It can be jumping. It can be stretching. It can be yoga. It can be so many different things. I just think putting less pressure on moving and just making it feel more natural to you is going to just really help your body get going. One of the biggest things that I think people struggle with is low energy. And a lot of times you might dive into so many different reasons why you're feeling low energy, but it's actually can be that you're just not moving enough and your body's just getting really sedentary. And the more that it's slowing down, the less that it has need to move, and you'll just keep slowing down. So moving by walking or running or jogging or dancing or doing kickboxing, whatever it is, just getting up and moving throughout the day is going to do wonders for your mental health, because it's going to keep that energy going and keep your mind crisp and ready to stay positive and ready to stay high vibes, however you want to word it. But getting that movement in is just so important for your body. And the last one that I'm going to mention is that sleep should really be prioritized above everything else. I get up at 5:30 in the morning, okay? I do get up at 5:30 in the morning, but I really focus on my sleep before that. I really focus on getting to bed early and prioritizing that above even some of my household responsibilities like chores and laundry and a lot of different things I don't fully care to admit. But by prioritizing your sleep and making that more important than basically anything, it's just going to have this amazing effect. I guess I want to mention sleep, not because I think it's something novel, but because you might be developing some ideas or goals of what you want to do in the new year. And like I said at the beginning, it can start filling your entire day. And you might start thinking, I have to get up at 5 a.m. in order to be successful or in order to get everything done. But instead of doing that, scale back what you feel like you have to get done. Scale back the pressure that you put on yourself, because you are going to function so much better while you sleep. Like I said, I do get up at 5:30. It's not because I really want to. It's because I literally have to with my schedule. Working out is very, very important to me. And early morning around 5:30 is basically the only time that I have available for me to be able to intentionally work out with focus and without distraction. That's really, really important to me. But it's less about, oh, I'm so great because I get up at 5:30, and more about that's just kind of what I need to do. But it's just that I don't have a ton of things to do, but my schedule is a little bit strict, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense and doesn't seem like I'm being like contradictory or Hippocratic. A hypocrite. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful. I hope this made you think about a couple things before making these grand goals in 2025 or these grand habits that you want to do to feel well. I think it's so important for you to figure out what works for you, what makes you happy, what brings you life, what reduces your stress, instead of just trying to pick up all of these habits to kind of band-aid solution you not feeling well, right? And we feel well when we find peace and when we find joy in our everyday things and when we do things that we really are passionate about. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it and comment and subscribe. My name's Nicole. I'm a just normal girl person. I do an intro every single video and they're all different. Just like a normal 9-to-5 mom. I just am wanting to share wellness tips and health tips and advice for normal people. And you'll never find anything too extreme on my channel. We're just kind of chilling. We're just vibing, doing the best that we can. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.